All right, everybody, welcome back to Fandom from Afar. So this is kind of an exciting episode because I have my friend Tyler here today to talk about the Ravens. Welcome, Tyler.
Thank you.
But Tyler reached out because he saw me advertising one of my other podcasts, and Tyler and I hadn't spoken in a while, but I know he's a really big sports fan. And he said, "Hey, I'd love to be on the podcast." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure. Let's do it." So if anyone else is out there and thinking that they want to tell their story, then hit me up either by text or social media, and we can get you on the podcast as well. But today, let's talk about those Baltimore Ravens.
Those Ravens, man.
Those Ravens. Just coming off of a little bit of a heartbreaker yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't want to be around for a little while after that game.
I thought for sure you guys had it when what's-his-face missed the extra point.
Oh, yeah.
Because if a team misses extra point, hardly ever do they come back and actually win the game.
Yeah, you don't ever have that that energy after you miss an extra point. It's the easiest part of the game.
Exactly.
And you missed it, and we still ended up giving that game away. It just, I don't know. You start off hot with Kyle Hamilton on the pick six in the second play of the game.
Oh, I love that when
crazy
interception. Walked in.
Crazy interception. And then it just seems like once Lamar makes a mistake, he can't come back from it.
Yeah, he's interesting. I actually have it on the list. We'll talk about Lamar specifically later, but you guys have a big game, quick turnaround on Thursday night. For the audience, we're recording this a little bit early. This is actually going to be the episode that I'm going to post while the family and I are on a vacation. So Tyler,
nice. I'll be the placeholder.
Exactly. Tyler stepped up to hold that down. So let's see, you guys play the Bengals Thursday
night, Bengals in Baltimore.
That's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Those games are always so fun, no matter how good the teams are.
I really dislike the Bengals.
I figured.
And their fans are the worst. I mean, our whole division, I think our fans are the most diehard fans. Like AFC North, hands down, is the most competitive division. I think combined records were 22-11 this year, and no other division has 20 wins.
Well, and it's been that way for so long because almost every team in that division is consistently good. Mm-hmm. So you guys have those real rivalries where it means something.
I mean, you got the Steelers. Like that is my most disliked, hated team. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I cannot stand the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm just glad they're kind of on a downtick right now.
Yeah, I don't think you're crying for them.
I fully expected Kenny Pickett and George Pickens to actually be really freaking good. And they just haven't really panned out yet, so I'm just waiting for them to click, and then it's going to be on again.
And if they don't, you won't be sad.
No, not at all. Not at all. We already got to deal with the Browns and the Bengals now because the Bengals just decided to be good again. So
just the fact knowing you have Joe Burrow to deal with. But I'm sure other teams are thinking, oh, we have to deal with Lamar Jackson for the next 10 years. So.
No, exactly. I mean, there's nobody like Lamar. I mean, teams sign dudes to their practice squad to give somewhat of a look of what Lamar might be like.
Yeah, because no one does what he does
that week.
Exactly. That's why
it's just crazy.
I think he's awesome.
He's great. I love him. I think he's worth every penny. He just needs to be a little bit more consistent, in my opinion, for sure.
Well, let's work our way towards Lamar. Let's start with your origin story and tell me, how did it all start? Like, I've had some pretty interesting origin stories on here, from video games to aspirin commercials to all sorts of stuff. So what do you remember, like the first time you were like, I'm a Ravens fan?
Yeah, I was 6 years old, and my dad, he worked for Toys R Us in Owings Mills, which is where their training facility is, the Under Armour center. And he called my mom from work one day and was like, hey, do you mind if I take Tyler to the Ravens practice across the street tonight? She was like, no, go ahead. Absolutely. And I hadn't watched a down of football in my life. And then while I was at the practice, my dad, he brought this football. And he was like, when the players come over, ask them to sign it. So I was like, okay, cool. And this guy, number 52, Ray Lewis.
Oh, man.
He walked over, and I was like, hey, 5'2", can you sign this? Like, I didn't even know his name.
Yeah.
And he walked up to me, and he was like, man, you're not wearing any Ravens stuff. And he went into his like duffel bag, and he got me a hoodie that he had in his bag, and,
dang.
and he gave it to me, and I was like, I'm a Ravens fan from this day on. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Oh my
nothing
goodness.
anybody can say to me to ever take me away from the Ravens.
That is so
was-
cool,
it
especially
was
as a
incredible.
6-year-old.
Yeah, like I had no idea what he was giving me, who he was, or like the stature of Ray Lewis, but it was, I mean, he's a behemoth of a human being, so I was
Yeah.
scared to begin with, but it was just so cool. Like I gave that hoodie to my dad. He's got it framed and all that stuff.
Man,
So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's so
yeah,
cool.
because for all you know, he could have been like a third stringer nobody, but he
Yeah, it
just
was
happened to be one of the greatest
the
players
greatest
ever.
linebackers in history.
Dang, that is so cool.
It was cool. Yeah, I got that football signed by Ray Lewis. I got it signed by Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs. I got
Wow.
everyone's signature on that
So
football.
this was like right in their peak of all those guys.
I mean, yeah, we won the Super Bowl in 2001. I was, yeah, I mean, I kind of understood what was going on. Like, I didn't really know football a whole lot, but I knew that 52 was on the field.
So
And-
that was their Super Bowl season?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
01.
okay.
Yep. I was born in 95. They came along in 96. And then when I was 6 in 2001, it was when I started to like them.
Wow, that's so cool.
Right.
I love hearing these origin
It's
stories.
a cool story, and like I love telling it because not many people get to interact with Ray Lewis like that, you know.
Oh yeah, and I just love the fact that you and your dad still have the sweatshirt.
Everything.
and
Everything.
like,
It hasn't been touched since he put it in a frame 15 years ago.
I love that.
And it was the greatest day of my life, honestly.
Yeah,
And I didn't know what was happening.
no, yeah, but it's fun to like kind of realize how great it was later on.
Right,
That's
right.
pretty awesome because
Yes.
yeah, you might have been too nervous to enjoy it if you actually knew who he was.
Right.
That's fun.
Yeah, that was a fun season, man. I loved that 01 team.
Well, yeah, talk
It
about
was- I mean,
hooking you in.
It was the greatest defense to ever exist in the history of the NFL, and now we're on like the Super Bowl team in 01. We had Trent Dilfer at quarterback.
Yeah.
That's how good our defense was. Like we didn't give up more than 14 points in a game that season.
That's wild.
That's insane. Like their average, I think their points per game was like 10.8 or 10.9 or something like that. It's just
That-
incredible. Like
I can't even imagine.
it was entertaining to watch their defense, and it's not the case most of the time.
Well, it kind of made it more entertaining because, like you mentioned, Dilfer. It's not like you guys were lighting up the scoreboard either, right?
No, not at
so
all.
it was the defense
But-
had to do that.
Yeah, but we beat the Giants in the Super Bowl that year, 31-0.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's like the only shutout in Super Bowl history, I think. Like I think there's maybe been 2 or 3.
Man,
And-
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, what a year to start paying attention.
Right.
That's really cool.
And ever since then, like 2012, getting that second Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, that was great. I was like 16 years old, and I knew exactly what was going on. And I actually had a friend that I met who moved here from Maryland with his family.
Okay.
And they were like 4 houses down from us.
So you got to enjoy it with them.
Yeah, so we had some more Ravens fans in our neighborhood, and it was nice to have them because we were the only people with Ravens flags outside
Yeah,
of our
right.
house. Like
You can all band together.
that
and just
purple and
enjoy
gold
it.
was
Yeah.
ugly to everybody else, but
That team, well, I was going to bring it up later, but we might as well now. That team had one of my all-time heartbreaking moments as a Bronco fan.
I know.
What was it? The deep pass to what was it?
Jacoby Jones.
Jacoby Jones.
Caught it, your defensive back fell down, and he ran it in the rest of the way.
He just totally misjudged the ball. He should have intercepted it easy, and he just went
I
flying
remember
by.
it.
Oh my goodness!
I remember every single frame of that play.
That was insane.
I mean, that whole playoff run was insane. He had 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions
Oh,
in
yeah.
that playoff run.
He was out of his mind, and
It was
then he got
incredible.
paid because of it,
And then,
and never did anything again. But hey, good for him. He's probably living in a mansion right now, being like,
I mean, you know what's crazy, though, is that he got $160 million, and that was the highest paid player in the NFL at that time.
and now guys are signing like $500 million
And
contracts.
now you got Mahomes at $500 million over 10 years.
Man, yeah, but he was unstoppable that year. Like it was just kind of destined.
It was a meant to be thing because I remember the Ravens, their social media team, they posted a video of Ray Lewis in the locker room after practice. It was the day before our first playoff game of that season. And he said, "Boys, I'm retiring this year." And then he was like, "I want to go out a champion. I want to go out on top." Like, it's giving me chills talking about it now.
Yeah.
And we just went out and did that for him. Like, I loved it. I loved every second of it.
That's so cool. So Ray Lewis, obviously amazing linebacker, like one of the greats, no doubt. I don't think that even needs to be discussed. But What was it like being a fan of him? Because I think most teams dream of having a leader like that, just someone that can be the face of your franchise, that all your guys will run through a wall for. Like, what was it like having him on your team as a fan?
You want to run through a wall every week.
Exactly.
Every single week, you want to run through a wall for that man. Like, it was just nice knowing that we had a quarterback on offense and defense. You know, like he put his guys where he knew they needed to be, and he was never wrong. He was never ever wrong. He could dissect plays like it was nobody's business. And just like sitting there watching that and watching him be so dominant, it was so much fun to watch Ray Lewis. Much fun to watch Ray Lewis. And having him lay someone out and just, I mean, being at the game, if you're in the stands, you could hear when Ray Lewis hit somebody.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, he laid the hurt on
He was
people.
just like pure muscle.
I mean, it was nothing. It was just a freight train coming through. Like,
Man.
I remember one play specifically when Chad Johnson, it was a goal line. It was a goal line play. I think it was on like the 2 or 3 yard line. And he tried to come across the middle and block Ray Lewis. And Ray Lewis just absolutely sent him 6 feet under. And he got back to the sideline. His coach was like, "Hey, Chad, you good?" And he was like, "I tried to block Ray. I
immediately regretted it. That was a mistake."
It's the best. I love stuff like that. It's just like that team just had a swagger about them. Like you didn't want to play us. You did not want to play that defense. You didn't want to play Ed Reed. He was a ball hawk like no other. I loved
Ed Reed.
And then, I mean, we had Anquan Bolden that season. We signed him, and everybody said he was washed up. And he went out and caught 5 touchdowns in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, it was just meant to be that year, I think. And that
was such a cool team.
It was a fairy tale story, honestly. Like, did
you ever go to any other practices like after you were 6 years old and just happened to get to meet Ray Lewis again?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I met T Sizzle, I met Ed Reed, I met Chris McAllister. A lot of people forget about him. He was dominant.
Oh yeah, he was a corner, right?
So dominant. Yeah, he was dominant. We had Deion Sanders for a little bit. I never got to meet him. I did meet Charles Woodson.
Oh, nice.
Which was really cool. Or no, I think it was Rod Woodson. Charles or Rod?
Oh, Rod played for the Ravens.
Yeah, Rod Woodson. Sorry. I got to meet him. I got to meet. I met Jamal Lewis.
Oh, nice.
Jamal. I mean, he was
2,000-yard rusher.
He was one of the greatest ever. And that, I mean, I've been spoiled as far as being a Ravens fan, though. I've never really had a season where I'm like, I don't want to watch this team anymore. Yeah. Like, I mean, we've had 2 coaches in our history. I mean, we've had Brian Billick and John Harbaugh, so consistency is great with us.
That's crazy.
And I mean, Harbaugh is going on year 14 now, if you can believe that.
Wow.
I can't believe he's been there that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a great ride as a Ravens fan.
I bet. all the friends and family we have here in Jacksonville are not going to want to hear that because they have not had the same luck.
Yeah, no, I was listening to your episode with Eric.
Yeah.
He was trying to make it sound as good as he possibly could, but man, being a Jags fan, I've been here since 2006.
Gotcha.
So I've seen the city when they were down. I've seen the city when they were up. I've been to games when they were good and in the games when they were horrible. Mm-hmm. Like, I see it, but it's hard for me to relate.
They've had those peaks. They just haven't had the consistency like you guys.
No, they're very up and down.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm grateful for.
Yeah, exactly.
That the Ravens have consistency, and we haven't had a losing season in almost 10 years, I think.
Nice. Broncos used to have that. We had an amazing streak where we didn't have back-to-back losing seasons for over 30 years. Mm. But then the last 10 years has been all losing seasons. So it's been rough.
I mean, you guys just need Russell Wilson to figure it out. You guys have the pieces. You got a good defense. You got good corners.
We're a ways away. We don't need to waste time with the Broncos. You're about the right age. You must have loved playing with the Ravens on video games as well.
Oh yeah. There wasn't a different team that I played with.
Exactly. Like that would have been fun too.
Like early Madden days, I would be playing my brother or something, or I'd be playing one of my buddies. Like 2001 to like 2005 when the Ravens had all their dudes. And I mean, you still couldn't get anything done in the video game against their defense.
Oh yeah, because they make them so good.
You still couldn't get anything done.
And that's what's fun when they have a good linebacker like that, because it's fun to be a linebacker on Madden and just destroy
roam,
everything.
And just roam, and hit stick everybody.
So the fact that you had the best linebacker in the world kind of would make it pretty fun.
Well, shoot, now we got Roquan Smith. Like,
he's nice.
Like, there's no drop off.
Yeah, he's really nice. Well, lucky you. So sounds like you guys would go to practices pretty often up there, and then go into games as well. Yeah,
games. We were season ticket holders for 3 years, and we were on a year-long waiting list for season tickets.
Nice.
Like the city of Baltimore, they love football.
Yeah.
Like we have this saying, it's Ravens and O's, crabs and bows. Like
that's cool.
Because we have Natty Bow beer. It's like the Natty Light.
Yeah.
In Baltimore, so we say that a lot. But downtown Baltimore is so much fun to go to for games, because you got Camden Yards right across the street, then you got M&T Bank right behind it. And on days when the Ravens and the Orioles are playing, it's
just like a giant party.
It's some of the most fun you'll ever have.
That's cool.
Like behind Camden Yards in right field is Utah Street, and then that huge warehouse in the back there.
Yeah. And
they got all the bars and restaurants and all the radio shows that are going on there, TV sets being set up there. It's a lot of fun down there.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's fun when they turn the whole downtown into like a gathering area for that. And it's not just like you come in and out for the game and you don't hang out. Like there's stuff to do.
Right.
That's great.
Right. And it was fun too. Just like a lot of people think downtown Baltimore is not really the greatest area to be. And don't get me wrong, it's not.
Because of the wire.
Yeah, the wire. Yeah, exactly. But no, it's definitely not the greatest area to be, but they do a good job of. You
stay within that little bubble.
Yeah, you stay within your 3-block area where both the stadiums are. You'll be good. But go outside of that, it's at your own risk.
That's fun. I'll have to go up there and try that sometime. Like you said, it'd be fun to.
It is. I mean,
hit up a weekend when you can go to one football, one baseball game.
Yeah. So we're actually, my uncle and I were actually going to. He's a Braves fan, so we went to Atlanta this past year to go watch Orioles and Braves. And we got swept in that series, so I had to watch all 3 games and just get swept. But we're going up to Baltimore when the Braves are there next season.
Very cool.
I'm going to stay there for a week and go see some family and then go to the games too.
That's awesome.
It's going to be fun.
Now, you said we would go to the games. Was that yourself and your dad, or like would your brother come too, or did you and your brother have to rotate with your dad?
No, I mean, my brother, he didn't really get into NFL football until he was older. Like after we got down here, probably like 10 or 11 years old. But I tried very hard to get him to be a Ravens fan. Yeah. But he's a Jaguars fan.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he's a Jags fan. And I can tell you the specific moment his fandom switched. It was a Sunday night game against the Jags here in Jacksonville. And we were down. It was the most boring game I've ever watched in my entire life. There were 8 field goals kicked between both teams.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was just all field goals. And so the Ravens ended up losing. And with about 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Jags have the ball. My brother, he's got his face painted purple and gold and white. Like, he's a Ravens fan the whole game. And as soon as he realized that they weren't going to win, he took off his Ravens jersey and he got my uncle's Jags jersey and he threw it on him. And I was like, what? No way.
So he literally changed
at the game, and he hasn't looked back since.
Wow. Well, good for him for being loyal, but that's a pretty dramatic decision all of a sudden.
I was like, dang, you left a Super Bowl winning team to go cheer for the Jaguars.
But now he's going to be happy when the Jags win it this year.
I think they're still a ways away too.
I don't know. We'll see. AFC is going to be fun in the playoffs. Like I think a lot of teams are pretty evenly matched, so it should be good.
AFC is just strong.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Just strong. I'm never worried about NFC teams with Lamar. He's 18-1 against them. I'm not
really.
Yeah, he doesn't lose to NFC teams.
Wow.
It just we're 2-3 in our division this year. So
really, wow. See. That's surprising because I was thinking of Baltimore as like one of the best teams just overall, but I didn't realize I think your division games have been kind of struggle this year.
Well, I mean, all 3 of our losses have been with leads greater than 10 points going into the fourth quarter.
Oh, really?
All 3 of them. Colts, Browns, and Steelers. We all get a 10-plus point lead.
So you're not that far away from just being like the dominant team this year.
Yeah, no, we should be 10-0.
Wow.
We should be 10-0. But it just really bad mistakes at really bad times have really hurt us.
Hey, you never know. You could look back on it and be like,
Right.
hey, I'm glad we lost those games, because then it made us kind of refocus and not be just overconfident.
Right. Yeah, I mean, getting back to your question, though, it was mainly me and my dad going to the games.
Okay.
Like if we had family in town, he always got games from work at Toys R Us, because some of the players would come in like during holiday season.
Nice.
And they would do their like charity, like throw whatever you want in the cart and I'll pay for it. Like you got 10 minutes to go throw whatever you want in the cart.
That's cool.
So he would get to talk to them all the time doing that kind of stuff. And he would just be like, hey, you got some tickets for this weekend? And
Of course they did.
Every time they had tickets. It was great.
That's really cool.
It was cool.
And does your uncle still live up there?
No, he lives here now.
Okay.
Yeah, he moved here not long after we did. I think 2008 he moved here.
Okay.
And him and his wife had a baby, and they didn't want to be in Baltimore anymore. So they came down here to St. Johns County and
very nice. A little bit different.
got them into the bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what they did.
Yeah. Now, sounds like you guys aren't afraid to fly up there to go to games, though.
God, no.
So you stay in touch with the team that way. What are some other ways that you like to stay in touch with the team, whether through specific shows that you watch on YouTube or listen to podcasts or anything like that? Like what kind of resources do you use?
I actually don't have a show that I watch or listen to. I just use Twitter or X now.
Yeah.
But the Ravens beat writers, Hoodie Ramey, Sarah Ellison, she is incredible. She literally has the insight with every single player. She has a great relationship with all of them, and she has all the information all the time.
It's amazing how much and I'm sure they only are able to share like half of what they know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure. And she's got a podcast herself too. And so I'll listen to that every once in a while, but it's mainly her X account, and she probably posts 30 to 45 tweets a day.
Oh my goodness.
She's on it.
Yeah.
She's on it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really all you need. Like that's a ton of information.
Yep. That's it.
This just jumped in my mind, but you had mentioned that you like Harry Potter, and the biggest Ravens fan I know is also the biggest Harry Potter fan I know. So awesome. you should follow Mallory Rubin.
Mallory Rubin.
She works for The Ringer, like Bill Simmons' whole empire. Mm-hmm. Mallory Rubin is someone that I think you would really like, because she's a good mix of sports and all the nerd culture stuff.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
So, well, cool. So we've kind of danced around the subject a little bit, but let's talk about Lamar, because I think he's super interesting, not only because he's unique as a player, but it also seems like it doesn't make sense how good he is and how underappreciated he is, because
you're preaching to the choir.
Brian. Well, yeah, I'm sure. But like,
no, you're good.
What other quarterback would have the success that he's had and become a free agent, or whatever his contract situation was this past offseason, and have such little interest from teams? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, so what we did with him is we put the restricted tag on him.
Sure.
So he could go out and seek a trade or a new contract from somebody else, but I know the Ravens were demanding 2 first-round picks if he wanted the rights to him.
But for a quarterback that good, I would think
it was incredible to me
it
that
shouldn't
nobody
have
reached
even
out.
been. Yeah, Broncos gave up 2 first-round picks for Russell Wilson, who is 12 years older than Lamar and not,
getting paid
not
more
as
than
good.
him. And getting paid more than him.
Like, if you would have given me a choice, you can have Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson for 2 first-round picks, I'm like, Lamar. Well, that's an easy choice. Give me Lamar.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Was there something I was missing that was scaring away teams, or was it just the 2 first-round picks, do you think?
Well, it was definitely the 2 first-round picks, and I think owners have a reservation about his play style and how long he can keep that up for. But you've seen it this year. He can throw the ball. He's having his best passing season of his career. He leads the NFL in completion percentage. So that's not his issue. It just, I really don't think owners wanted to pay him. That was it. I don't think the 2 first-round picks were...
Which is just wild.
And then we come back and give him $265 million and 180 of it guaranteed. There's definitely other teams out there that could have swung that. For sure.
That's not that much more than the Saints signed Derek Carr for.
No.
Like, come on.
No. Like it just... it baffled me that he was still a Raven after this offseason.
Yeah.
It really did, because I was ready to move on with Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, you were like resigning
Snoop.
yourself to that.
I was like, man, I don't want to move on with Tyler Huntley, but if I have to, I will.
I don't understand. Like it just, I guess it's just one of those things. Do you feel like him representing himself had anything to do with it? Like
100%.
Like
100%.
Do you think he could have got more money if he had an agent?
No. I think he got the max of what he could have gotten.
But it was just a weird situation because basically the Ravens probably were having to tell him why he's not worth
amount. And it's a weird situation because your agent is usually the buffer between the player and the team, and they filter what player hears, Yeah. He had to hear all of it. He had to hear the ups, he had to hear the downs, he had to hear all of it.
Do you feel like he's moved on and that didn't really affect him? Or
no, I think he's fine now.
If they were struggling this year, do you think he'd be like, yeah, get me out of here?
I don't think he would want to leave if we were struggling. I think the call for, like, if we didn't go out and draft Say Flowers and get Rashad Bateman back healthy and go out and sign Odell Beckham Jr.,
yeah,
I think he would have wanted to leave if we didn't get him help.
Well, see, that's a great point. Like, he's never had
any
good receivers. So I'd love Zay Flowers. But just incredible. The fact Bateman's healthy and then Odell's starting to come on a little bit now. But like that pass to Odell yesterday was
that slant, and he just
perfect pass. So
took off.
Man, I don't know how you can tell Lamar to his face like he can't do this when you don't give him actual professional receivers.
Well, and I mean, in 2019 when he won the unanimous MVP, his wide receiver one was Devin Duvernay. He's returning kicks and punts for us now.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't expect him to be Superman every week.
Exactly.
And I think that's what we're seeing now is that he doesn't need to be Superman anymore.
Yeah, I feel like he's balancing it really well as far as he doesn't take off running every single time.
Yeah, but he's still got almost 500 yards rushing on the season. So he's got 5 rushing touchdowns. So he still produces. And I hate when there's this one stat floating around right now that Lamar Jackson has the same number of throwing touchdowns as Mac Jones.
Really?
But I mean, look at the record, and he has 5 rushing touchdowns. So if you want to count everything, he's got 16 touchdowns, not 11. So it just,
I think that's going to change because Mac's not seeing the field anymore moving forward.
No, Bailey Zappi's the guy
exactly.
now. That's his 3rd time being benched this week, so that was just bad. But like the Patriots too. The Patriots, I have a long history with the Patriots.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady, and keeping us from that many Super Bowls every single season. It seemed like we get to the AFC Championship and Tom Brady's waiting for you.
So save those thoughts because I have a question about that in one of our games later.
All right, cool.
Who would you say that's playing right now is the closest comparison to Lamar?
As far as like speed, I think the closest would have to be Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nobody like him. Like, you have to go back to Michael Vick to find somebody like him.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Maybe historically, who would you say? Because
I'd say Michael Vick.
Yeah, modern day, I don't think Fields is anywhere close to being the passer that Lamar is.
No, he's not. But that's the closest comparison because Lamar can throw, and then if he doesn't have anything, he's gonna make you fall over and look dumb when he jukes you out.
Man, prime Michael Vick, he was pretty awesome too.
Incredible.
I guess to kind of tie this up, I think Lamar has it, and I don't see any reason why he can't lead you guys to a Super Bowl.
No, I don't. I think he's very capable of it.
Yes,
I think people like to nitpick at the small stats that really don't matter. And like, we're not having these same conversations about Joe Burrow.
Right.
Last week he had 2 interceptions against the Texans, the Houston Texans that lost them the game. I was like, where's the Burrow hate? Why aren't we concerned for Joe Burrow?
I will say that as a fan, it always feels like everyone's picking on your guy.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's Jags fans too. It's tough living here. And because Duval fans, they're relentless. And they are. But if they were to come to Baltimore, they would say the same thing.
Oh, yeah. But that's kind of what makes it fun.
Exactly.
Everybody has to protect their own guys.
And I look at their quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, and I look at my quarterback in Lamar Jackson, and I'm like, he is so much more fun to watch. Trevor's good. He's good. The Jags football, like the brand of football they put out is just not like.
Which is surprising. They have so many weapons.
I'm saying.
So.
And they went out, like they have all their players from last year and added Calvin Ridley. And he's just like a no-show. They just don't throw to him.
I hope the Ravens and the Jags like match up in the playoffs, and then I can just have you and Eric come and do a pod together.
Let's do a live stream. I'll do it on YouTube.
Talk about it. That'll be fun. Let's move on a little bit and play some games.
Do it.
All right. Before you came on, I asked you what were some of your favorite kind of shows or movies or whatever like that, and you went right up my alley and said The Office and Harry Potter. So that's what my games are based on now.
That's my staples.
I love The Office and Harry Potter. So we'll start out with The Office.
Do it.
Now, let's pretend we're in a world that they are recasting The Office using Ravens players. So we're going to, I'll give you some characters or famous scenes or whatever, and just first player that pops to your mind will be the correct answer. So you can't lose this game.
Let's do it.
But I want to know who will recreate the awesome episode Prison Mike.
Marlon Humphrey.
Okay, tell me why.
Marlon Humphrey. He is the goofiest dude on the Ravens.
Really?
Every time we win, he has a victory stream, and it's a live stream of everybody on the team playing.
Oh, really?
And like he's the guy who walks up to Roquan Smith while he's sleeping and is like, "Hey, Ro, what'd you think about the game today?" And he's still fast asleep. Like he knows he's not going to say anything. He's just like, "Hey, why are you ignoring me, man?" Like he just gets up in their face while they're sleeping and like tickles their ear and stuff. Like he's hilarious. I love Marlon Humphrey.
That sounds pretty perfect.
Love him.
Put a purple bandana on him. He's Prison Mike.
He's it.
My first thought was it'd be funny to see Ray Lewis do that, but he would legit be scary.
He would be really scary.
You would actually think that he was prison Ray. So that wouldn't be as funny
because the bandana is kind of like his look too.
Exactly.
Under his helmet. So that'd be good.
All right. What Raven player would be most likely to burn his feet because he wanted to wake up to the smell of bacon?
Tyler Linderbaum, our center.
You thought that quick. Tell me why.
Our center. He's from Iowa, and he was raised on a pig farm.
Oh, there you go. He
literally said, "I eat bacon every single day of my life."
That's perfect.
There it is.
There you go. I love it. All right. What player do you consider to be your Toby? Where when he's on the field, you just scream, "No, no, no."
Oh, man. Right now, Justice Hill.
Oh, okay.
Our backup running back.
Yeah.
Keaton Mitchell's come onto the scenes, but
he is so fast.
But Justice Hill and Lamar haven't been able to get on the same page. So anytime I see 43 in the game, I'm like, no, don't hand him the ball, please. Please don't give him the ball. He's fumbled 4 times this year, lost all 4.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
He gives me the creeps when he gets on the field.
Well, that's perfect too then. All right, last one. What Ravens player would promise a bunch of elementary school kids that he's going to pay for their college and then awkwardly tell them that he can't do it when they're seniors? Scott's Tots.
Man, who would I have to pick for that? Does it have to be current Ravens?
No, anybody.
No? I would say Terrell Suggs just because he would forget about it.
They would show up, excuse me.
Like, "Hey, Mr. Suggs, like, you have this today." It's like, "Oh, no, I don't." He's like,
"That doesn't sound like
that's
me."
What he would say. He'd be like, "That doesn't sound like me."
Very good, very good. All right. Now we're switching universes. We're going over to Harry Potter.
Yes.
So Harry Potter has the 4 houses, Slytherin, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been informed they're adding a 5th house named Raven.
Well,
so describe what the new house of Raven. What kind of students would you be looking for in this house? It is the head professor in Raven is Edgar Allan Poe. So
beautiful.
Just so you know.
Okay. I would think people that are just, for lack of better words, balls to the wall.
Okay.
Like just always on full go, 100%. Like someone tells you not to do something, we're going to do it anyway.
So like young Ray Lewis is your ideal student.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys are going to give Slytherin a run for your money of they think they're the big tough guys and you will
100%.
put them in your place.
100%.
I like it.
It's got to get Ravens players.
I like it. All right. So I think you guys will have an advantage if you have all Ravens players, but let's make a Quidditch team. So I need one seeker, one chaser, one beater, and one keeper. And tell me why you picked a current or former Ravens player for each position.
Seeker would be Ed Reed because he's a ball hog.
I think that's perfect.
He's a ball hog.
That is the perfect answer.
He's going to find it. Keeper, I would say Marshall Yonda.
Oh, I haven't thought about Marshall in a long time.
Just a big old dude, just to sit in front of the hoops right there.
He was dominant for, 12 years?
Oh, he was incredible for 12 years. He didn't give up a sack for 3 years. It was insane.
That's wild.
I would say the chaser would... I'd say the chaser... someone light, so they could be fast on their broom. And say like Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, might as well.
Just get a little dude on there.
He looked ridiculously fast this past week.
Either him or Zay Flowers.
Ah, there you go.
That'd be a good one.
Very good.
And then what was the last one? I forgot. What have I already hit?
Did you say a beater yet?
A beater. Okay, so a beater is definitely going to be Ray Lewis.
Yeah, so you got it.
It's going to be Ray Lewis or Roquan Smith.
So I don't imagine Harry Potter scoring too many points if Ray Lewis is hitting him.
No.
I like it.
No, he's not coming back in the game.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. All right, so I mentioned this earlier, but I'd like to hear more detail now.
Mm-hmm.
Was Tom Brady and or Bill Belichick your Voldemort?
Yes. Tom Brady was my Voldemort because, we hated the Steelers and we hated Ben Roethlisberger and Hines Ward and all those guys, but Tom Brady was the one dude who kept us from the glory land.
Yep.
From getting to the Super Bowl. And because every year we get past the first round pretty easily. And then like the second and third round, it was like inevitable. Tom Brady's waiting for you with Wes Welker and Gronk and all his guys. It was impossible to beat him. Impossible.
I bet so many teams feel that way, but of course, you guys being so good at that time,
it was frustrating.
Had to deal with it more so than anyone.
It was frustrating because we were good for so long, but then Tom Brady just stuck around for so long.
Yeah, like just go.
Stayed relevant. Like go away, old man, please.
Now, are you picturing Tom Brady without a nose?
Huh?
What? All right, last one. Let's pretend you are the new Harry Potter, and you need to hunt down some Horcrux. Pick two best friends who just happen to be former Ravens players or current Raven players. Who are you hunting Horcruxes with and why?
One would be Roquan Smith.
Okay.
Because he literally said that he used to hunt hogs with his hands. Like he would
believe it.
He would jump on top of a hog and choke it out pretty much. And that's how he would hunt for hogs.
That guy's ridiculous.
It's crazy. Him, and I would probably Lamar.
Yeah, might as
So
well.
we have one fast guy,
Oh, true. Speed could come in handy.
Have one fast dude.
I like it. That's a good trio. I think you guys will save the world.
Yeah, we do.
Very good.
Save Hogwarts.
Very good. So to finish it up, you want to give me a prediction for the Ravens this year?
Oh, this whole year?
I'd like a record and how far they're going.
Okay. Well, right now we're 7-3. So we got 17 games now, right? And we got 17 now.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think we finish. Our schedule here on out is fairly tough. Like after our bye week, we get the Jags, Niners, Dolphins, and then the Steelers again.
Oh, dang.
To end the season. So I think we lose a couple of those. I think we're going to be 11-6, maybe like 12-5. I think we still win our division. I think we don't get the first round bye. Chiefs will get the first round bye, as they always do. It'll click eventually, and they'll just figure it out all of a sudden. But I think we get past the second round, and then we're going to have to play the Chiefs. And we beat them before. We can do it again. So I think we get to the AFC Championship and lose this year.
Interesting.
I know it sucks, but like I don't think we're ready for Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs quite yet.
I think that would be such a good matchup because the Chiefs don't have the weapons they used to.
But he still does it.
I know he still does it. But like,
It's like
if you ask me right now to take the Chiefs wide receivers or Baltimore's wide receivers, I would take Baltimore's.
But it's just Mahomes.
It's Mahomes.
It's just
But
Patty.
you never know. Like Lamar is not that far off.
No, he's not.
So if he has one of his days,
I wish we played the Chiefs every year in the regular season to kind of see where we stack up, because I hate not knowing what we're going to look like.
And then it all comes down to the playoff
and
game.
then get there and we got to like, oh.
Yeah.
Now we got the Chiefs.
Exactly. Well, I like it. I think you're being a bit cautious, but that's okay. That way,
I'm not going to say Super Bowl and then have everybody dance all over my grave.
And we will.
No, I know you would.
Yeah,
all of Jacksonville would.
Exactly. No, I won't hold you to it, but no. I think even if you don't want to say it, I think that's what you believe.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
No, I think we're ready. We need the consistency, and we need the second half defense and the second half scoring.
I love it.
Can't lose 10-point lead in fourth quarter 3 times in one season.
Yeah, let's not do that
Just
anymore.
can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just can't.
Well, cool, man. I think we did it.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me on, Brian.
Oh, I appreciate you reaching out. This is fun to catch up, and we'll, like I said, we'll do it again come playoff time.
Well, actually, December 17th, the Ravens are coming here to play the Jags.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to have Eric on,
talk some trash.
I'm definitely down for it. That's for sure.
That sounds awesome. All right, man. Thanks, Tyler.